Morning, everybody. Just a quick update on a few changes we've made since, we did go to the track last week, and we were not prepared properly. But one thing I noticed when I got home was if you look at the feathering on these slicks, you need to rotate these from time to time so they wear evenly. This does have it's smooth going one way and then it's rough going the other. So I have rotated these so they'll wear more evenly and grip better. There's still got plenty of life left in these, but we do have to rotate them. This is the first time they're being rotated, so maybe that has something to do with them not hooking as well as they have in the past. But anyway, we rotated those, and I made some adjustments to the rear suspension. As you know, this is the baseline. We have the adjustable uppers. I was in the middle slot, but I'm going to try moving it up, and what that will do, that will change the geometry, and hopefully that angle will push the tires down even further into the ground on launch. I also went ahead and when I was adjusting these uppers, I realized that they had spacers on each side in the bracket there, and it was binding to one side, so I made an adjustment there to where they move more freely, and actually double checked my torque specs on all these control arms, and they were all overly tight. So I think the suspension will move more freely now and will be able to do its job better. Also, I've got my on these Strange 10 ways, I got the driver's side on number 6, and then I got the passenger side on number 8. Those settings have been my best so far. I don't know if I'll have to tighten them up more with the suspension moving more freely, and with the added, this should add more anti-squat with that bar angle raised up on the axle there. So we'll see how that goes. Also, one thing I didn't do last time, when I took the K-member spacers out, I didn't adjust my coilovers, so the front end was sitting down an extra inch too far. So when we were at the drag strip, of course, then the rake was, that throws all your angles off and everything. So I went ahead and readjusted the control arms. I adjusted the coilovers up 1.25 inches to put it back at the correct ride height, where it sits pretty even. And of course, that'll put the rear suspension, when you lower the front, it changes the geometry in the rear because of the way the car sits. So I fixed that, and again, with those adjustments to the rear, we should be okay there. We did make a couple street test hits, just a second gear pull with the nitrous, and that I sent the data log to the tuner, and he said that was successful. So he's going to make the adjustments in the tune that we can start making full pulls on the nitrous. And of course, getting this set up, I did have to go through and retighten and reseal all this stuff. There was minor leaks here and there. So of course, that's always going to be an issue. And that nitrous bottles, when it's up to temp, is 900 or 1,000 pounds of pressure. So if there's a small little leak, it'll find it. So anyway, that's that. I did get I ordered a higher wattage nitrous bottle heater that I'll have to wire in with a relay. The one I think I showed you guys that I have that runs off of the cigarette lighter goes straight back to the heater. That one's only 90 watts, so of course that's not going to be able to heat up the bottle very quickly. But I did found on YouTube, matter of fact from Sloppy Mechanics, just when you take the bottle out and put it in the kitchen sink and run hot water over it, and it comes up, the pressure comes up quite a bit and very fast. So I'm thinking combination with, before I leave for the track, if I warm it up in the sink, maybe take it over a little bit, like 1,050 pounds. I did get a bottle, I did get a nitrous bottle blanket to put over it, and of course you can put towels and stuff and insulate the bottle. And then that, in conjunction with a pressure switch, with this pressure switch and the nitrous heater, electric heater, we should be able to stay pretty consistent with the bottle pressure in the staging lanes. But I think the big thing is heating the bottle up with warm water before you leave, and putting a bottle blanket on it, and then I think the electric heater will be able to keep up with it for you know, a couple pulls at the track. And then other than that, I'm actually starting all over with my clutch tamer adjustments, and we're gonna, with these suspension changes, I'm going to try another round, see if we can get this clutch tamer dialed in even better for launching. I did put, what I didn't do before, I did put some marks on here so I know exactly where my turns are. If you can see, there's the inner knob. So I know exactly if I'm going in a turn or out of turn where I started at. So we'll, I did a couple short little 3,000 RPM hitch yesterday, and I think I've got it going somewhere. There are directions here from Grant at Clutch Tamer about you know, your base settings and where to get started with all that stuff. So I think the combination of those things, and of course with some nitrous, we should get this thing moving down the track pretty well. One other thing I'm considering is considering a quick release steering wheel, just to make getting in and out of this thing easier. The tilt wheel helps, but one thing I don't like about the swing out bar is getting your foot in right here is kind of a pain. So a lot of times I don't even use it. I just still climb over it and slide in. If I had known that, I think this setup works better when you got when your door bar goes all the way down, so your hinge can be further down and give you more room here. But of course, I've never done it before, so hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done that, or I would have recut the angles. And what I want to do is take these door bars out, redo them, and put them further down, maybe put a bend in them and take them up a little further. But that's somewhere down the road. Anyway, that is that. 347 is still going. Oh, I did get one new part for the 347 that I'll show you guys. Picked up a AccuFab 90mm throttle body, which is the correct opening for this Box R intake. Only thing is, this is the race version. It doesn't have a IAC idle air control valve on it. So I mean, we should be able to tune around that, considering this car doesn't have power steering or air conditioning or anything really that the IAC valve helps to control the idle on when you have extra load on the engine. I mean, we're just running an alternator and that's it. So, well, the electric fans, but I think we can just run a little bit higher idle without the IAC, and we'll give that a shot. So anyway, that's that. Making a set of gaskets for the throttle body, and then that'll be ready to go. And we'll just maybe get her out for one more test, one more nitrous run, see what we can do with this thing. And then the 302 will be coming out, 347 will go in. The only other thing I'm debating on this is if I want to spend some money on a nice drag race style oil pan before I get it in the car. Of course, that's a couple $100, but I'm really not in a huge rush, so I could, you know, save up for it or whatever. But that's just something I'm debating. You know, buy a nice oil pan, and it can go on any engine, you know, any of the 8.2 deck anyway. Anyway, that's a quick update for the weekend. We did make it out to the track. Didn't run any great times. It was last Friday night. Again, the car wasn't set up correctly. I still actually had the nitrous test tune in there on my first pass, so that was a disaster without running nitrous. Nonetheless, it was still fun. I met my friend Rich out there with the Godzilla Torino. So you know, we only got 3 passes in because Saturday they had Race Wars, which was a big turnout. So I do have some video of one pass that I'll probably go ahead and put up, and I do have a video of a second gear pull with the nitrous hit on it. So I'll probably throw that stuff into a little video and post it up there, so at least you guys can check it out. All right, have a good weekend, everybody. Take care.